What's up, BFL fam? I'm Carlos. This is Steven.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to Brooklyn Fragrance Lovers. Today we have a fragrance from Ramon Monegal called Faisa. Keep it right there.
Brooklyn fragrance lover. Brooklyn fragrance lover. Brooklyn fragrance lover. Brooklyn fragrance lover.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. As always, I really do appreciate it and hope that you're all doing fantastic. If this is your first time landing here at Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, I would love if you would consider subscribing to my channel. Go show some love to Redolessence.
Thank you.
Then come on back here and click on the bell icon so you don't miss any future content that I upload here to BFL. So Ramon Monegal is a Spanish house by Ramon Monegal, who's also the perfumer.
Yes.
He began his company in 2009. He has currently 44 fragrances in his library.
Wow.
This here, Faisa, is a 2020 release.
Okay, so this is the newest one, the most
Yes,
recent? Mm-hmm.
it's the most recent. But before he started his own company, he worked for many prestigious perfume houses like Puig, etc. The inspiration for this was Ramon challenging himself to create an olfactory image of a ray of sunlight which gives creative energy.
Wow.
Hence the yellow box here. This is the outer sleeve. The juice is also yellow. Did you notice
Yes,
that?
that is right.
So the presentation is just to die for. Can you help me here, like hold the bottom or something?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, because Klutzy Carlos would have made a mess out of this. So it's black and it's textured. It has boxes here. M for Monegal. Inside
Opens up like a book. That's
opens
pretty
up
cool.
like a book. That bottle is inside this golden and black pouch, string top, and there's a mirror in there, in case you fancy putting on the perfume and watching yourself do it, or maybe taking a selfie with it, but nonetheless, it's beautiful, beautiful packaging. Up there with the best of them. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the notes for this?
Sure. For that, I'm going to need my glasses. So for the complete note breakdown, in the top we have saffron, ylang ylang, lemon, cinnamon, and anise. In the mid, we have raspberry, oud, rose jasmine, and mimosa. And then in the base, we have amber, sandalwood, vanilla, tonka bean, and caramel.
There's a lot going on, for sure.
It's a very multifaceted fragrance. So a part of it is kind of sweet, a part of it is spicy, a part of it is floral, and then a part of it is also kind of oudy. As a matter of fact, when I first smelled this one, what I told you was that I perceived it to be an oud rose combination.
Yes.
And so I'm definitely getting a lot of that spiciness of the oud. I thought I also got a little bit of cypriol in here as well, just something adding that spicy texture, but then I do see that there's saffron in here, there's also cinnamon, anise, and so it's a combination of different spices.
So for me, definitely I agree with you that the rose and oud are front and center. And the oud's not a pungent oud, I must stress that. It's more of a backbone, or giving the fragrance a little bit of smokiness and a little solidity. Is that a word?
I know what you're trying to say, yeah.
Just to
Giving it weight.
Yes, thank you.
And structure.
It's very spicy, but when it dries down on skin is when some of the fruitier nuances like raspberry start coming out, and it warms up to like an amber, and it smells like sun-kissed skin.
I think the sunniest note in here is probably the mimosa. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, but whenever I think of mimosa, I think of something very bright and cheerful. And I definitely corroborate what you're saying in terms of the sweetness, just because you have the vanilla, you have the amber, the caramel, the cinnamon. So there are certainly a lot of sweet leaning ingredients. And I think it's that raspberry note that I'm the most interested in. So I do get it a little bit in the opening, but once it starts to dry down, you have that raspberry and vanilla combination. It's really, really well done.
It definitely has changes, little ups and downs. It starts off kind of very oudy, and with the rose. The other florals are in the background of the composition. I don't think they're really front and center. But as it dries down on skin, again, like I said before, you get that nice amber warm feeling on the skin, which makes you feel like you've been in the sun for a while, you know? So,
Exactly, yeah.
It's an interesting fragrance and definitely not a boring composition by any means. There are many rose oud fragrances out there, but I think this has a little more personality to it and more little hills and valleys and nuances that go on with this particular fragrance.
I think because of the spices and the raspberry, that definitely makes it interesting. And you smell it and you're like, oh wow, this is quite different from other oud rose combinations that I've tried. And especially like Carlos mentioned earlier, the oud plays more of a supporting role. And so it's not one of those barnyard types of oud that might be a little bit overwhelming. I feel like in this one, your attention is going to be dedicated to some of the other more agreeable elements of the composition. And the oud that's used in here is very high quality from what I can perceive.
Must show you that this is how it opens. I have to fiddle with it a little bit to figure out how I'm not going to jam my finger, but once I get it, I get it. How would you go about spraying yourself with this?
I think I would
This
just
kind of cap.
Yeah, same way you would do it. I think I would just make sure that the atomizer is pointing out, and I would just grab
There
it
you
like
go.
this. Yeah. Or
So
else
we
you'll end up
agree.
spraying inside the cap. No, really cool presentation. Definitely matches the luxuriousness of the box. And I've never actually seen this style of presentation before. Really cool.
So, that's our thoughts on Ramon Monegal Faisa. Short and sweet like we always do. We do hope that you enjoyed and got a little bit of knowledge from this video. If so, please do subscribe to our channels. Come back and check out our next videos. And until then, you take care, stay blessed, and we'll see you at the next video.
Bye.